Sons of Masi Chinwo, and they do wonder is playing for you at exactly 4 after 7 in the morning. And I promise you we'll be speaking about mental health in just a bit, and which is a problem in the current times. Last week I told you about a video that has been trending on TikTok for a couple of weeks as well, of a teenager, a young man who I can clearly confirm and identify as a teenager, who was standing in front of a dummy at a boutique in broad daylight. And this boy, because the dummy was looking like a woman, he unleashed his private parts in the open.
Wow.
That was so weird. And as I conclude that there is an issue of mental illness. Our people are not just doing good, especially the young people. And I thought we should address this. And with me in the building is Mr. Daniel Latibi. He's an author, but also a mental health expert. Good to have you on the show.
Thank you. Thank you, my namesake, Daniel. I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to be here.
Yes.
Indeed, mental health has been a crisis.
Yeah.
Among the children, among youths, among teenagers, among the working group,
Mental wellness.
among the elders. So it's really a crisis that needs to be addressed.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that we are here trying to put a brick in the lives of the people to let them know that help is available, they can actually receive treatment, they can recover, and above all, some of these issues can be prevented.
Yes.
And yeah, we will be able to discuss and
Great. Let's get to know you first of all. What people don't know is that you are also a man of God. Let's get to know you, Daniel, first of all.
Yeah, somebody told me that I should always say this because now it is me. One of the things I'm proud of is God allowed me to go through pain.
Yeah.
And this pain made me go through different challenges.
Yeah.
Many times I do not want to talk about my victories, but I want to talk about my battles that I've fought.
Yeah, the battles are important.
I'm an award-winning mental health advocate who uses my lived experiences to get awareness, to let people know that one, recovery is possible. Because me too, I recovered.
Yes.
Two, help is available if somebody does not live in denial. I know what it means to live in denial, and people don't get help because they live in denial. But also, I have both the experience and the knowledge on issues around mental health. That's why I'm passionate about it. Every day at least I speak it, I talk it, because I've lived the experiences. And above all, Psalms 107 verse 2 says, let the redeemed of the Lord tell their story.
Yes.
So I've also been able to tell the story
through
these multiple
books that I've
books.
seen that you're writing.
Yeah, in these multiple books because I'm telling my stories. One, hope in the age of depression, there is a hope. I like the previous program which talked about there is a hope. Indeed, there is a hope.
Yes. Yeah.
There is a hope, and there is no better place you can find this hope apart from engaging yourself in having that relationship with the one who created the universe.
Yeah, because there is frustration across the world. In Nairobi here, young people are taking teenagers are taking to the streets and they don't really care what's wrong. You know.
So also, as a young person, I'm not going to, because I'm still a young man also. I know
a young man who is radiant.
Yeah. So the other books, The Art of Dating and Courtship. Of course, this one came after 8 heartbreaks. After having gone through 8 heartbreaks.
You went through 8 heartbreaks?
8. Now I'm a married man, but the stories are here and helping people to know that actually you can still recover, you can heal, and you can still turn your dreams into reality and still lay a foundation for
relationships also cause mental wellness issues.
A lot. For most young people, it is relational. And the worst of it is when you feel abandoned.
When you feel rejected.
That's why, having lived through this myself, the call is to let people know that you can actually overcome rejection and turn your greatest dreams into reality. because I've been there myself.
Yeah.
And to make matters also more interesting, somebody may say, me, I'm not interested in those issues. My issue is money. I've been there myself. Very broke and broken. I know what it means when you are heavily indebted. And for 3.5 years, I know what it means when your salary is all taken by the financial institution because of loans. 3.5 years.
Yeah.
I know what it means when you're working
and that's when
you are broke.
Yeah, and that's when you find people on the street walking and you think they are all right, but they are not actually all right.
So I've been through this myself. That's why I'm saying, hey, look here, help is available. We shouldn't end up in these habits. I'm working other books as well, because all these are my lived experiences. Because when I'm talking about mental health and mental well-being, personally, I've struggled through all this. And I was asking God, why did He allow me to go through all these problems? But then I'm understanding why. Because to let people know that, one, I'm a living testimony. Somebody can indeed recover. Somebody can receive treatment. Somebody can receive healing. Somebody can receive transformation. And these issues can be addressed.
Yes. Now, having known you a little bit, you've been through all of this. Let's talk about mental illness just for a bit. What is mental wellness? Mental health? What?
Now, mental health. We're talking about the overall well-being.
Yeah.
That enables me and you to work well. That enables me and you to be able to realize our ability and our potential. That enables us to be able to manage stress on a daily basis. That enables us to contribute to the community. That is mental health. Yes. In fact, why we are working is because of mental health. Why we are here is because of mental health. Yeah. All of us, you're able to thrive because of your mental health. Now, what happens when it comes to mental illness is a medical condition that affects the thought, the mood and behavior, and how you view the world around you. Now, you see, when now the thought is affected, the mood is affected, and then the behavior is affected, then you cannot contribute that much. You cannot realize your ability. You cannot manage your stress well. You know, that's where now things begin to fall out of hand, and you cannot make your own decisions. And because the way you think, the way you process things is not that well, because something has happened that has triggered it to work that way. So when mental illness comes, we expect all these stories that we are seeing, the behaviors we are seeing, how somebody comes on a dummy. We are seeing all of these behaviors of the various weird characters that are coming because of the way somebody is thinking, somebody is feeling, and therefore their actions and their behavior. So a lot is around mental illness, and right now there are so many cases, there are so many rising cases.
Speak about the prevalence.
The prevalence is huge. Now I want to bring you data here that we might appreciate. 2 years ago, we had a news headline after thorough research that said 14 million Ugandans are mentally ill.
Yes, I remember that.
And last year, on the 1st of
I think there are 14
November,
million. And how many are Ugandans? Are we 40-something million?
Yeah. And then
15,
I'm
that's
still
a
coming.
significant number.
I'm still coming to some number there because I want us to do math together. Then last year, 1st November 2023, the news headline was 30% of Ugandans are mentally ill. So when we look at this number, okay, even if we just go with the 14 million for now, now what happens is 14 million Ugandans who are mentally ill, they have people whose lives they are impacting. Okay, so you have 14. Now I've put something here. In as much as we don't catch mental illness like flu, but what happens is shared genetic and environmental influences may make it more likely that people who live together
catch it from the other person.
Yes. For example, if somebody is battling depression, that means if you are a child and you're battling depression, chances are, and it is most likely, that your mom, your father, your relatives, your uncle, your auntie, somehow, somewhere, is also feeling the same way about your condition, is worried about you. and is even sinking into more depression just because of your condition.
That could be worse than catching it like a flu.
And then, when we now bring it that way, imagine one person influencing 5 other family members. And therefore, they are also all now sinking into depression or whatever it is. So what does that mean? If you are to multiply that 14 million by 5,
every time you're
parenting
a drug addict, you're actually depressed.
You are, because you... Okay, let me just throw for you some symptoms here. How do you know that somebody is mentally ill? That can maybe help us to understand the prevalence. Number 1, if somebody all of a sudden loses appetite for food, or has too much appetite for food, all of a sudden there is a crisis. Number 2, sleep changes. If somebody is struggling
wait, Daniel, hold on. Someone has lost appetite for food.
Yeah, all of a sudden
there's a problem.
There's a problem.
Or they are eating too much
food. There's a problem.
I've had people say that for me, when I'm stressed, I gain weight.
Because they go into emotional eating and they eat. Okay, I am among those.
And that shocks me.
If you see me put on weight, there is a problem.
There is stress.
Because I go into emotional eating. That's what I learned later on from my doctor. That it was emotional eating. You are eating not because you are physically hungry. There is an emotional gap. There is a vacuum. There is some hunger. That's how you can eat a kilo of meat alone, 2 kilos of meat alone. You know, and you are one person.
Yeah.
But there is a problem. You are craving for.
There's something wrong.
Yeah. Number 2, sleep. Sleep refuses. Even when you are tired, you want sleep. Sleep refuses. That's why most young people right now, for them to be able to sleep, they are silently taking sleeping pills. Silently. But I want to say, please don't come out, seek for help, because I've been there myself. Number 3, if you are struggling with the anger and you don't even know why you are angry, but you are struggling with the anger, there is a problem. Do you know that Moses never went to the promised land because of anger?
Yeah, he did.
So anger is one of the manifestations of mental illness. Fatigue and loss of energy. Feeling hopeless and helpless, where you feel you're not good enough, you feel you are not good enough, you feel you're worthless. Losing interest in a thing that you used to love doing. You lose interest all of a sudden. People are going to work for you, you're still in bed. Even this morning, people are going to church, you're still in bed. You just feel you want to be there. You just, not that you have become lazy, but there is something wrong.
Something wrong, yeah.
Okay? And then there is withdrawing. You want to be alone. You don't want people. You want to isolate yourself from others.
You withdraw.
There is a problem.
That one, I see it amongst my friends who smoke a lot of marijuana.
Then they withdraw
a lot. They
stay away. They stay from away.
They don't want
people.
to stay next to people.
Exactly.
And they think it's a lifestyle.
And then the reckless behavior. Yeah. This is now where we've seen young people and even old ones living a reckless behavior, involving themselves in heavy drinking, alcohol, and the drugs. Dangerous sports betting, and all this become addictive, and this is where many people are. And if you see all of a sudden somebody is drinking too much and this and that, there is a problem. It is a mental health crisis. Then you have lack of basic personal hygiene. Somebody who used to be very smart all of a sudden is a shabby, doesn't care anymore whether they're clean or not. They don't care about whether their hair is combed, whether they have brushed, whether they have ironed their clothes, whether even their clothes are clean, but they just show up at work anyway. You know, or wherever they are. There is a problem with concentration. You can't concentrate, you are restless. You have unexplained body pains and the body aches. Your body is paining you, you go to hospital, they test, they say you are fine, but you are in pain. There is a problem. That pain is not physical, but it is from the brain now. It is mental illness. You have uncoordinated speech. You begin a story, you jump to another, you jump to another, you jump to another.
You see, we were thinking about mental illness as people who are mad on the street.
Yeah,
you don't wait for guys to walk on the street as mad people. You don't wait for them to walk as they are mad on the street.
You don't. And then you have your own meeting.
For these symptoms.
You have your own meeting with yourself. You ask your question, you answer it. If it is funny, you laugh at it. You hear things others don't hear. You see things others don't see.
You are just about to run mad.
Not, you are actually sick. Yeah. You need help. And then you become suicidal. And you know, all these are symptoms that somebody is actually battling mental illness.
Yes.
We don't wait for people to now run naked in the streets. walk naked and then we say, oh, I think so. No, these are things we struggle with on a daily basis. I want to say this: as long as you have brain, you are prone to mental illness. Now, that's why these issues are here. That's why we want to discuss these issues. You just have data everywhere. Suicide cases, for example, have been on the rise this week and even last week, and every day we are hearing suicide cases.
There was a top marketeer who fell off a building.
He jumped off.
And I had men who knew him. I had people who knew him who spoke great about him.
Yeah.
And he was one of the best digital marketers.
So people
great career, great everything.
People are committing suicide because of depression.
Yeah.
Because, you know, the mental illness that leads people to hopelessness, to a state of hopelessness, where they don't see anything good that can come out of them, therefore they promise to die, is depression.
94.8 XFM, this is the Exalted Show. My name is Daniel, and my namesake Daniel is in the building, is a mental health and wellness expert, and we're speaking what is the cause and how can we get rid of mental illness, especially in this generation when the youths have nothing to hope for. But we're saying there is still Jesus and seek help. We'll be right back after this. See some Limo Blaze and Naomi Rainey, and it's called Good God.